Who wouldn't want to relive old games, bring back memories, and go on a mission with childhood heroes once again? I know I would. As a kid, I loved my Gameboy Pocket and played Super Mario games over and over again and over and over again. Well, I no longer have my Game Boy, and unfortunately I don't have the consoles I owned afterwards either. But we do have plenty of tablets, and you can get some fantastic emulators for Android. So we grabbed the Google Pixel tablet and turned it into a retro console, at least in terms of software. We tested a range of emulators and are presenting our 4 favorites here. Let's start with the first emulator. PPSSPP is the leading emulator for the PlayStation Portable console, and it's really good. It delivers excellent performance with resolution scaling up to 4K and numerous settings to optimize graphics, audio, and even network functions for online gaming. Additionally, the controls are highly customizable and external controllers can be mapped easily. When we connected an Xbox controller to the tablet, the mapping worked automatically and we quickly got the hang of the controls. To set up the PSP emulator, we simply downloaded PPSSPP from the Google Play Store. The app is free and ad-free. Within the app, we navigate to the Games menu, tap Load, and select the folder where we store our PSP ROMs. Then we could choose the ROMs and install them one by one. And just like that, we are ready to go. At the top of the screen, there's a gray arrow in the middle. Tapping it opens the emulator menu where we can save our game or access the settings. Here we can tweak the graphics or screen layout. Playing around with the graphic settings, anti-aliasing and other options definitely paid off and improved our gaming experience. We play homebrew games like Battleground 3, Mega Drops 2 and Ozone, which we downloaded through the PPSSP's built-in homebrew store. If you have a Google Pixel tablet or are thinking about getting one, I can recommend the accessories from our sponsor EIP. Here you can see how I'm using the Pixel tablet with the EIP keyboard case and the active Penoval USI Stylus, 2 accessories that Google doesn't officially offer. But these 2 are specifically made for the Pixel tablet, adding a great keyboard and a solid stylus. The Penoval USI Stylus supports 4096 pressure levels, and when you're writing or drawing, your palm is ignored. So you can rest your hand on the display just like you would on real paper. Speaking of real paper, I applied the Penoval screen film to the Pixel tablet's display. It's a textured screen protector that makes handwriting feel like you're writing on actual paper. I find that so much more comfortable. The screen protector also reduces reflection significantly since it's matte, and fingerprints are much less visible. At the same time, it protects the display from scratches. The stylus charges using USB-C, just like the tablet, and lasts for 90 hours on a single charge. A replacement tip is included in the package, which is a nice bonus. My favorite part is the keyboard case, because EIP has thought of all the features that many official keyboard cases lack. First of all, the cover protects your Pixel tablet from all sides, which most others don't do. On the back there's a built-in kickstand that lets you adjust the tablet to different angles smoothly. There's also a loop on the side for the stylus so you don't lose it. The keyboard connects using Bluetooth and I was able to start typing smoothly right away. It's a really comfortable keyboard with shortcuts for brightness, volume and other functions. Underneath the keyboard is a touchpad. It's not huge, but it works reliably. If you don't need the keyboard, you can simply detach it from the cover since they are held together magnetically. I generally think the EIP keyboard case is an excellent accessory for the Pixel tablet, and the stylus and Paperlike screen protector are great as well. So, if you have a Pixel tablet, definitely check out the accessories from EIP. You will find the links in the description. A quick note on emulators. Before we move on to the other emulators, let's quickly talk about how they work. Emulators in this case are Android apps that can read the code of gaming console operating systems and play old school games. Legally, this is a bit tricky. We only use games that are either freely available from developers or that we have purchased. Without games, emulators are pretty useless. They read ROM files which contain the game data. You saw this in our first example. If you own physical retro games as a cartridge, memory card, or DVD, you can extract them using dumping tools and load the ROM files onto your tablet. There are also games developed more recently that developers offer for free, often called homebrew ROMs. These are fan-made games that sometimes resemble classic retro games. Alternatively, you can buy games from platforms like GOG, where either the ROMs are provided or you can extract them yourself. Some technical knowledge is required, but it's possible. We only showcase and play homebrew titles or games that we have purchased. Next up is the PlayStation 1 emulator called DuckStation. This emulator is compatible with various ROM file types and delivers solid performance. The app is simple, user-friendly, and completely free. First, we downloaded DuckStation from the Google Play Store and installed the app. At first glance, the app might seem a bit confusing, but it's actually quite straightforward. In the bottom right corner, there's a button with a folder icon. Here, we can select our PS1 ROM folder, and the games then appeared as a list in the app. In the top left corner, we access the emulator menu, where we could adjust settings, manage saved states, or even start the installed BIOS directly. In the controller settings, we had to let DuckStation automatically map our Xbox controller once. We were impressed by the precise control customization options. Even vibrations are supported, and each setting has a short explanation, making it very user-friendly. After adding our games, Doom, Shadow Madness, and the homebrew game Abyssal Infants, we could easily start them. During gameplay, we can access the settings by tapping the pause button in the top right corner. The upscaling to 4K works very well, and again, tweaking the graphics settings is definitely worth it. Not only can PlayStation 1 games be emulated, but PlayStation 2 games are possible as well. Nether SX2 is a PS2 emulator that lets you play PlayStation 2 titles on your Android tablet, making it our third place pick. Nether SX2 looks almost identical to DuckStation and works in a very similar way. However, it must be downloaded from the developer's website and cannot be installed via the Play Store. Once installed, everything works as expected. We selected our PS2 ROM folder and loaded our homebrew game Hermes into the emulator. Afterward, we mapped our controller and adjusted the graphics upscaling. We started a game and tested how high we could push the graphics settings without sacrificing too much performance. This varies depending on the device, of course. Playing PS2 games on a tablet is really fun and still looks quite impressive. Let's get to number 4. Pizza Boy A is an excellent emulator for Game Boy Advance games. It's well designed and delivers great performance. You can easily download Pizza Boy A from the Play Store. The basic version of the app is free and great for testing. We opted for the Pro version, which costs just around $6 or $7. It's not only visually more polished and packed with cool features, but it also has a landscape full screen mode, which is perfect for tablets. In Pizza Boy, we tap the 3 dots in the bottom left corner to open the menu. Then we link the folder containing our Game Boy ROMs. In the ROMs menu, we could select from a list of loaded games such as The Lion King and several homebrew games. From the menu, we could also adjust the graphics settings and map our controller. Again, this worked automatically and was easy to configure. On smaller tablets, the on-screen buttons work well too. Unfortunately, Pizza Boy doesn't offer 4K upscaling or similar features, but it's still a fantastic emulator that brings back nostalgic memories. Another cool option is Pizza Boy C, an emulator for Game Boy Color games. It's from the same developer and works almost exactly the same way. That wraps up our top 4 emulators for Android, which we use to turn our Pixel tablet into a modern retro console. Now I'm curious, what's your favorite childhood game and what was your first console? For me, it was the handheld, the Game Boy Pocket. I miss it very much and sadly I don't even know where it ended up.